How you doing, guys? Professor EDC with another BLADE-OSOPHY Sunday. Where have you been, Professor? Well, let me tell you that this week was my birthday, and to be honest, it's been like one of the worst birthdays ever. Just a whole bunch of problems suscitated and problems on this front, on that front. And one of the things that kind of helped me was to think about knives. But not just to think about knives, but to think about how I've kept open to changing my opinion. That is, to keep open, to keep on being a bit flexible to other things. Now, 5 years ago, you wouldn't have really caught me dead with a traditional. And here I am with the whole collection, the whole Jack Wolf collection, which I really enjoy, which I like very much. Each and every one of the models, of the patterns, but those who have followed me, you know me. You know, I started. My Grail was the XM18. And then the Holy Trinity, and so those were and still are the type of knives that I like, and thinking of them as something more utilitarian, right? But in a way, I kept an open mind about knives, about materials, and well, I had to, since I started off with axes, then with machetes and knives, and then to folders and slip joints in the end. As I give my knives and my folders a kind of a hard use, you know. But anyways, it was these are rough times, and really had a pretty sucky birthday with family just too far away, and just a whole bunch of things. But anyway, that open-mindedness, that flexibility gave me a gap of time, and I also kind of saw where I was, and I took a step back, and I did not upload videos, I did not watch video content, I did not respond to messages from the community. Just had to take a step back, right? And because also a lot of things always come up in this community, at least here in Mexico, and well, I survived, and here I am with the first shipment of Jack Wolf knives for Mexico and Latin America. And I'm so glad that I was able to just hold on and have that flexibility, and I'm just so excited about the next step. So what's the next step? Well, I'm just excited to be able to bring this to our Spanish-speaking countries. And so we don't often have the opportunity to have good quality knives down here. And well, I hope we have enough luck and the work is gonna be there, and I'm excited. And it's a little bit of flexibility, a little bit of open-mindedness. You know, sometimes we can become fixated in a certain thought or idea or a person or a thing or a situation, and that being fixated only, what happens is we become solid into that fixation, and that doesn't allow for oxygen to flow, or energy, or other thoughts, or other possibilities. So that's what happens with fixation and solidifying something. And so, yeah, I had a rough time, a pretty rough time, but it went away. One of my teachers from Oriental philosophies, from Buddhism, reminds us, this too shall pass. And that is just a fantastic teaching in itself, how everything, whether it's good, bad, or positive, negative, or neutral, it shall pass. And so the bad moments passed, and here I am contemplating and enjoying these knives and the possibility of sharing them and bringing them to Latin America. And a type of knife that in the past wouldn't have been in my mind because of not having any locking mechanism, right? And for the type of activities that I did, that would just not be the most adequate tool for those activities. Yet I have learned that there are multiple activities that I can use these knives for. For example, and I was fascinated because I had this one, the little bro, and in my pocket, and I bought some strawberries. That's one of my favorite desserts, just strawberries and cream. But they were a bit, how do you say? I had to peel some of those strawberries, and now every time I buy strawberries, to peel them off, when necessary, I always take out one of my slip joints, one of my Jack Wolf knives, and just enjoy that activity, peeling that fruit, whether it's a banana or strawberries or guavas. It's just the right tool for that activity. I sliced up some tomatoes, a tomato for a couple of days, some tomatoes for breakfast, and it's just they're fantastic tools. And then I discovered another thing. I usually don't wear a watch, but then the other day had to wear a watch. I took a picture and I'll post it in my Instagram. So if you are not following my Instagram, go to my Instagram at Professor EDC, Professor with one S, as it's in Spanish. And it's I kind of noticed a thing between these traditionals and watches, a kind of a cool link between them. And yeah, I'm not a watch guy. I mean, I'm never going to collect watches because that's just out of my budget, and that's just reality. But if I had more watches, you know, it would be such a cool thing to match these knives to some of those watches because of all the shapes and materials. Now, these are very modern materials, and I think they really go with some of the watches that I've seen from different people. Dirk Werning, Alex, from the what's it called now? The knife, the Watch and Cut channel, and Nick Shabazz, and well, just people who I've watched videos of their watches. Not being a watch guy, but you know, started to making combinations with these, particularly these knives, the Jack Wolfs, and those watches, and the possibilities are just infinite. And I really loved that exercise. That keeps my mind focused on something more positive. And at the same time, well, the variety and the feeling and the look of these knives, you know, some of them may seem a bit more rugged, and some of them much more modern, right? And how they all can combine with different watches and in different EDCs. And I gotta tell you, I'm excited about you know, doing something else in my EDC. I'm a simple guy in that sense. My EDC always remains the same, with my bandana and leather wallet, a small flashlight. But this is a whole new rabbit hole that can lead me to bankruptcy, watches, and Jack Wolf knives. But I'm excited about that. And anyways, keeping an open mind, a flexible mind for rough times. And for my knife collecting, it has led me to different paths and trying different materials and shapes that in another moment I wouldn't have. And that just keeps me learning. And that's something that I really enjoy in my life, to learn. So, what do you guys think? Gorgeous, right? We'll see if a watch comes along at some point, but in the meantime, I'm loving what I'm seeing and what I'm thinking and the possibilities that are arising. Anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful week ahead. Do take care. Professor EDC out.